Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcast, and hosted by yours truly. It is the Mike that likes to mouth off. It's mouthing off with Mike. It's MOWM. And of course, joining me, the other half of the Monday Night Mics, or Mike and Mike on the Nightcap, or as Chano likes to say, it's time for your mouthful of mics, because I've got the Prez Michael Davis here of Boom Broadcasting as my co-host tonight here on the Raw Nightcap. What's going on, Prez? How you been? How's life?
I'm doing good. Life is good. Got to talk NFL free agency earlier today with 8-Man Jason, and I stayed up for some Nightcap and my mic fix. So my mic's working now. Is that mic working?
This mic's working. I'm working. You're working. We're working OT here tonight because we got to talk a little bit about tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. I've got some inside men here at Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena in good old New York City. We got Rick 8-Bit and Booking Like a Mark. They said that was awesome. They had a solid Monday Night Raw tonight. ZWC in the building. He's an angry or pissed off Tribal Chief. Yes, the Tribal Chief is back, ladies and gentlemen. Get your ones up. If you're in your living room, if you're in your car, if you're in your bedroom, get those ones up to the sky, because it's time to acknowledge the OTC, or your Tribal Chief. Did you catch that, Mike? The YTC shirt? Your Tribal Chief, I'm guessing?
The YTC.
YTC.
I mean, you can go OTC, you can go YTC. To me, that's just another shirt. What, 30 bucks extra?
Just another $34.99 on Shop WWE. Use my WWE Shop affiliate link if you're looking at copping some new merch. Look, I got this We Want Cody shirt, WWE Shop clearance last week, $10, ladies and gentlemen. I got 4 shirts for $40. Clearance was on fire. Use that Shop affiliate link. Prez, Monday Night Raw. We're in the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. We got a tornado tag match. We got a number 1 contenders women's IC title match. We got interviews with Michael Cole, and we got, of course, a steel cage match. So top to bottom, what were your thoughts on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw from March 10th?
I thought it was serviceable. There were parts where I was like, okay, it's a little slower. May not have been like as hot of a start as last week's Raw. May not have been as, well, honestly, the ending was pretty great. But there were some notable things that I can't wait to dive in here.
Oh yeah. People are already ravenous in the comments. Our frequent flyer here on the Nightcap, our regular here at the Nightcap bar. Seth Rollins and CM Punk, good steel cage match. Great. Then Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher steel cage match. You can't compare those two. That's comparing, as the age-old adage goes, that's comparing apples to oranges here. A lot of different things here that I could definitely break down, but a solid steel cage match for Monday Night Raws. Crowd went nuts when Roman came out. I mean, I went nuts, and I was watching in my living room.
Yeah. And especially, like, I heard the crowd roar, and then I was like, wait, what's happening? And then I realized the door was open, and Seth was there, and all of a sudden, when I saw somebody grab him, I'm like, let's go. Throw your ones up.
I can't wait to break that down, because that is such an added element to the probably triple threat match we'll see at WrestleMania. That was a great Raw. That curb stomp by Roman was fire. Someone call the fire chief here in New York City, because I think Seth Punk burned it down tonight, pun intended. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, great match, steel cage match. I got you, Logan. I got you. ZWC, how are you going to forget Andrew Schultz? Dude's come a long way since his days on Guy Code. Oh, ZWC. Can't wait to talk about Andrew Schultz. What an ending to Raw. Shout out Drew Code Sports Talk. Welcome in, everybody. Let's break it down from beginning of Monday Night Raw to the end of Monday Night Raw. We're going to start off here with a little bit of some yeeting out here in MSG because we got Jey Uso going up against Grayson Waller of A-Town Down Under. Jey Uso, Grayson Waller, quick little match outside of the normal script, Mike. What do we always expect from a Monday Night Raw start in the first 15 minutes? What do we usually start with?
We usually start with a promo or a backstage altercation, an entrance, getting hype, preluding what's to come later that night. But no, we just kicked off AEW style. I mean, we went right into a match.
Right into a match. I dare I say I prematurely yeeted tonight because I didn't expect to yeet so early tonight on Monday Night Raw. I didn't think we were going to be yeeting right off within the first 5 minutes of the show. I was embarrassed. I never had a premature yeet like this before.
Yeet.
I got him. What do you say to that? What can you even say to that? That was for all of you viewing.
I can say that match was like, okay, and I wish that Grayson Waller had the reaction from the crowd that he used to have in NXT because, I still think Grayson Waller is talented, but I think even this match gets overshadowed by what happened afterwards.
It does get overshadowed, Mike. And tell the people what happened afterwards. After this, Jey Uso nails a beautiful spear, making Adam Copeland's spear last night look like the worst spear I've ever seen in my life. That's just for Mike, guys. I'm not starting an AEW WWE tribalism war in my comments. That's just to make Mike mad. But what happened after the match?
Well, what's happening after your comment is you're doing the Nightcap solo, or you're bringing in your plan B. Since I didn't sell my soul to you, you might have to go get John Cena. But guess what? You won't be able to see him on the Nightcap. If we get any Adam Cope Edge slander here. But what happened afterwards on Monday Night Raw? We're not going to spoil AEW for anybody. What happened was Gunther, the ring, the ring, we just recreated the Waza moment.
The ring,
he put Jey Uso to sleep, and Jey would not be yeeting anymore. Yeet, go night. And Michael Cole said Gunther is bent on making Jay's life miserable for the next 6 weeks. And Mike, I think that actually happens. I don't see Jey Uso ever getting the upper hand on Gunther for the next 6 weeks of Monday Night Raw.
I'll be honest with you, my fellow Mike. I agree to that sentiment. I do agree with you for once. I will be in full agreement with you. I don't think Jey will get the upper hand or the upper yeeting over the next 6 weeks on the road to WrestleMania. What I do believe is in the match itself, Jey will get the upper hand on the ring general and end up winning the world title. I think it's going to be a similar situation to Gunther with Sami Zayn last year. He said, "I got Sami Zayn. You're nothing. You're garbage. You're useless. You're a bum." What happened at WrestleMania? Sami Zayn whooped his ass, ended his 666 day IC title reign. I gotta get some holy water every time I talk about that title reign. 666 days. We decided to end it on that day. It's exactly like we couldn't do 665, 667, 666.
They ended it on WrestleMania Saturday, so it's like, why not just do it the day after?
Let's just give him the one extra day so we don't have to ever constantly think 666 for Gunther. But I think you're right. Jay's not going to get the upper hand. Jay's going to look like he's outmatched, outmuscled, outmanned by Gunther, and I think he's going to end up winning.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean that way too when it comes to that World Heavyweight title match. Who knows if it will actually main event like the Royal Rumble winner is supposed to do. There's been times where it hasn't. And one of those
It's
times
certainly
have
not.
been for the World Heavyweight title. Edge versus Alberto Del Rio back at
God.
WrestleMania 28 is one of those instances. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't main event. But, man, it could get wild if all of Vegas is yeeting with Jey Uso as he finally dethrones Gunther.
I'm trying to be in that arena, WWE. You better drop them ticket prices, ladies. Please, Fanatics, Ticketmaster, drop them ticket prices. I'm trying to yeet in Las Vegas with my man Jey Uso. Let's talk about it. ZWC said his name. Andrew Schultz, stand-up comedian, is physically assaulted by one Logan Paul. And honestly, I kind of cheered for Logan here. I mean, I don't like Schultz. I don't like Logan. It's kind of like a be damned if I am, damned if I'm not. So I was like, whatever. If you guys beat the shit out of each other, I'm cool with it. Just keep my man AJ Styles healthy for WrestleMania season. So this was a big nothing burger for me, Mike. Didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, it was very flat. I saw Logan Paul get a lot of heat from the crowd, so kudos to him. But yeah, it felt flat. And you and I were texting about it. It was like, what was the point other than maybe like giving Netflix like a bone for like, hey, thanks for letting us be on your platform. We'll try to advertise some of these shows that are on your program, which is totally fair. I mean, Boom Broadcasting kind of does the same thing, but we don't do it at the expense of our actual product.
I think I'll go ahead and pull a CM Punk here with a few from back in the day here, reading some text messages from his sister about Kevin Nash. And that Schultz segment was whack, said MOWM. And I got just have AJ challenge Logan to a Mania match and be done with it. For real. I think it's a 6-week slow build. So, Mike, do you agree it's a 6-week slow build still?
Very 6-week slow build. And that's what happens when you don't have anything between here is like, that's good because you get programs and stories that time to develop rather than just being rushed. We're no longer in that time frame where we're like 2 weeks out from WrestleMania and we don't know half the show. Those days are over, thankfully. But what you get are Monday Night Raws like this, where it's just like, oh, I could have went without seeing that.
And it was in freaking MSG.
Yeah.
MSG of all places.
It's your
final that Raw in Germany is absolutely stacked next week.
But it's in Madison Square Garden. It's your final show before you go overseas. So I was looking forward to coming on the Nightcap. 1, because I get to hang out with you. 2, because I was like, we're going to get a really good show with Madison Square Garden. And you've already attacked my fandom of the Rated R Superstar. And 2, there's like 2 notable things on Monday Night Raw that I'm really excited to talk about. And everything else is like, oh, that built to something eventually we'll get down the road.
We're in the valleys of WrestleMania season, folks. It was not every episode's gonna be a home run. Sometimes you hit a double, sometimes you hit a single, sometimes you strike out. Tonight was, I would say, I think you got a solid a triple. Yeah, I think a triple tonight. I think we were very close to a home run. I think there was a couple things that definitely felt lackluster. This being one of them. Like, I get it. This was a Netflix requirement. Andrew Schultz has got a new comedy special out there where Raw on Netflix. I think we saw half of the Netflix shows that are airing right now. I think you have the property ladies, the real selling New York or some nonsense. You had another Netflix actor. Shout out Macaulay Culkin, though. That was the only celebrity I was really happy to see. I was also surprised to see Fabulous and Rich the Kid. I was like, WWE's back, ladies and gentlemen. They got the celebrities. They got wrestling's cool again. Wrestling is very, very cool again. But yeah, it's just give me AJ Styles. If you're gonna make me have to, if you're really giving me AJ Styles versus Logan Paul, just bite the bullet. Just give it to me. Just shoot me in the back with it and just what you say. Because at this point, if you're gonna just do it, just pull the Band-Aid off, man. I don't want to dance around like, will AJ take on Logan at Mania? Who's Logan's WrestleMania? We know where we're going. Just tell us this one, because at the end of the day, we want a little bit more for our man AJ Styles. It's still going to be a banger match, but I'd much rather see AJ in the IC title hunt. Just saying.
Or at least have like something better than, oh, AJ Styles came out and saved this celebrity Like the audience has no vested
Styles
interest.
gives zero damns about Andrew Schultz.
Yeah,
Let's be real.
I mean, if this
It's like, who do you
was
want
like,
me to save? Who?
I mean, if this was like, one of our all-time favorite legends that Logan Paul was disrespecting, then we could get it. If this was
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels and Logan was about to drop Shawn on his head and AJ Styles came out and saved him, okay, that's nice. Or, Chris Park, or Joseph Park Esquire, if you will. I mean, if you wanted to really get the heartstrings of wrestling fans, you would have done that. But it was like, I was even looking, I'm like, who is this guy? What's he on? Like, do I even care? No, because I watch wrestling all the time. Make a wrestling fan care.
Nah, don't make it just a casual, especially on Build the WrestleMania. I know you're trying to get new fans, but at least for the sickos like us, I know that's used in AEW a lot, but if you're an AJ Styles fan, you're a wrestling fan. You don't want to see AJ Styles, especially if we only got a couple more years of the phenomenal one left. Let's not waste it on Logan Paul, man. Let's not do that. Tornado tag match, Mike, left me wanting a little bit more here, man. I got to be honest. Like, I figure LWO New Day, they're going to knock it right out of the park. Like, home run, grand slam, Babe Ruth on home plate calling his shot. It was a good match. There was a couple good false finishes. LWO, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio looked great together. New Day. I don't know if this is what we really wanted for the New Day heel turn, was an immediate follow-up with the LWO. Is that what we were angling for when Kofi and Kofi and Woods turned their backs on good old Big E?
Well, I mean, it would have been really nice to see the New Day immediately go after the tag team titles, especially with it being on a babyface team like the War Raiders. Obviously, there's a weird thing with like the Final Testament that you could have like played off of, but that didn't work out. And I got really excited when I saw this match on the show. It's not often you get tornado tag matches, but at the same time, Kofi, Kingston, and Rey Mysterio, if they've ever competed, they've both been baby faces. So this is like the first, like, you don't get many of these matches where it's like two veteran stars who have been in the company 20 or 20 plus years, and you're getting a fresh program. So it's like, oh, this is cool. Like this could actually be something. I feel like that's why a lot of fans are excited about the potential John Cena's heel turn and getting a babyface Cody versus a heel John Cena. So I was excited about that match tonight, but I mean, it fell a little more flat. There were a couple good moments. You can't always predict a table spot, and it just like that to me symbolized what this match was. And it wasn't any fault of their own, but again, it was overshadowed with what happened at the tail end of the match.
Yeah. And the tail end of the match, my goodness. Oh, WWE, you're funny. ZWC say, give it a stand-up triple. Stand-up triple. I would have said like close triple, like had to go to the review play to see if he was actually out or not triple. I'll give you that. Looks like Xavier got hurt from their view, Rick and Mark at MSG. So maybe that's something to Xavier and Dragon Lee struggled to the back. Oh, okay. Oh. Interesting.
We got some inside sources.
The inside men at MSG, ladies and gentlemen. The New Day gets heat. The LWO does not. That's a tough scene for me because the LW is a bunch of talented, extremely talented individuals. Obviously, we have the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Dragon Lee's very talented. So is Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. I think all three of those guys are really good. It's just tough. It's a very character-dominated industry, and I don't really think we have a good grasp on who these guys are when it comes to the in WWE aspect of the character work. But was it Chad Gable, Mike? Was this Chad Gable, ladies and gentlemen? Gracias. That's what he said. Say gracias. Gracias.
I mean, look at those. I mean, you look at those two fingers, like that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fingerprints. I'm looking at the fingerprints to find out if this was Chad Gable, because if it's not, If it's not, American Made has a new member. Look at the logo on that mask.
You
And
know what's funny is that mask is already on WWE Shop.
and you have an affiliate link, don't you?
I do. So, another plug here. We'll double down. I do have an affiliate link. If you want to support Mouthing Off with the Mic and Boom Broadcasting, use my WWE Shop affiliate link in the bio of my social medias. You too could wear this American-made American-made mask and get the same questions that a lot of people would if you wore that. Where were you on January 6th? Anyway, back to the lecture at hand. Prez, was this Chad Gable? Because in a backstage interview, it doesn't look like it was Chad Gable because they've got a suspect. Security's got a suspect here in the mask and in the same clothes. But were those the same shoes as our masked man at ringside?
I mean, I don't know about you, but it looks like Fuego del Sol got another mask.
It looks like potentially maybe Ray Phoenix got an updated mask.
Or who was it? Mr. America? I mean, I can tell just by the wrinkleless neck he has right there. I mean, Mr. America does not age.
I'll be honest. The last I heard about Mr.
Those
America
are Hulkamania shoes. Those are Hulkamania shoes.
The last I checked, dude, Mr. America was singing cervezas for a living now. So not too sure about what Mr. America's up to. But I love corny shit like this in WWE, dude. Was it Chad? Was it not Chad? Who's the masked man? It was Chad all along?
To me, it looks like he's a real luchador. Fighting for the right to just be at Madison Square Garden and live his dream. Fighting for what's right.
An attempt was made. I'll give it to you. So yeah, listen, could it have been Chad Gable? No, because he was exonerated here thanks to the backstage interview with one Kathy Kelly. So I think it was a Chad Gable. We have a new member of American Made, a masked member of American Made. Anything can happen in WWE. WWE's on fire right now. Feed. No.
This is what happens when we're up on the nightcap with the Monday Night Mic.
Feed.
Did somebody say the Fiend? Revel in what you are.
Listen, Cody Rhodes is here. He's certainly reveling in that black eye handed to him by Mr. Fiend himself, Travis Scott, who's got a new shirt out on WWE Shop. $55 sets you back for the Travis Scott exclusive. Wait for that one hits clearance, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that right now. Wrestling is real. No, Travis Scott, you just don't know how to wrestle because you gave Cody Rhodes a nasty black eye. And even Seth Rollins today, when it was captured an interview with one of the local radio stations talking about Travis Scott belongs nowhere near a wrestling ring. Mike, Cody Rhodes, what do you want to talk about here tonight on the Nightcap about Cody Rhodes?
What I want to talk about with Cody Rhodes is actually focused on John Cena.
Okay.
Because this is such a well-crafted story. I mean, if you're going to do John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, I said weeks leading up to the Chamber, weeks leading up to Royal Rumble, you couldn't have this match because your crowd is going to be split. People are going to want to go for John Cena. People are going to want to see him win his 17th title. The babyface you've spent 3 years building up is now going to be hated if he crushes everybody's dream to the people who went and bought tickets to the Vegas WrestleMania. They would have been upset if Cena didn't win his 17th world title. And now look what's happened. John Cena turns heel, and we go 2 weeks without John Cena showing up in America, showing up for the American fans. Hustle, loyalty, respect, did all the dates, worked 365 days a year. He didn't take any days off. He did all the Make-A-Wish. He did all the dates, Raw, SmackDown. Didn't matter what brand he was on. I'm sure he showed up in the FCW from time to time. But no, John Cena is too good to show up now. And now the hustle, loyalty, respect guy is gone. But guess what? The new quarterback is going to show up on a brand that he's not even assigned to. He's going to show up at Madison Square Garden because the people of New York paid their hard-earned money to go to the Madison Square Garden. And Cody's like, if you're not going to get John Cena, well, by golly, you're going to get the American Nightmare, the WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. And I think they're playing this story perfectly.
I like it, Mike. Good breakdown. Yeah, I didn't know where you're taking it, but you took it on home. Exactly that point. You got New York City. It's a gritty city. The city that never sleeps, full of blue-collar workers, union reps, workers. Just a city that is built on the everyday man. And you got the fighting champion. You got everyday champion right there, Cody Rhodes, the son of the American dream, the son of a plumber. Listen, I like it. You know, he's carrying this. And this is, I kind of said this, like Cody's going to carry the feud up until Cena decides to mosey on back to Monday Night Raw. They're still selling Cena merch on the shop, which I really thought if they were, obviously they don't want to miss out on merch money, but man, how smart and effective would it have been if you just did not have any Cena merch in this heel run and then you overloaded it at the end when he finally decides to become the old John Cena. Then you could make triple your money from a merch sales standpoint. But I like this. I think you're going to have one of the best segments in possibly, I mean, how many great segments have you had on Monday Night Raw history? But I'll say it. I'll put my name to it. The first interaction next week with Cena and Cody has the chance to be either the greatest one-on-one, face-to-face segment in Raw's history of the last 20 years, let's call it, or they hit us with a massive swerve like they did at the press conference and Cena doesn't even show up. And you build it and you build, and every week that anticipation, that hatred grows and festers in the crowd because they're expected to see Cena on this retirement tour and he just doesn't show up. And he proves that he is, in fact, a corporate sellout shill, former shell of himself. You go one of two directions next week. What a weird Monday Night Raw next week. Monday afternoon Raw next week for me. Early evening Raw for you. Monday evening Raw and Monday afternoon Raw for me. Next Monday and the next 2 Mondays after. As Mr. Kennedy would say, pro wrestling is real. People are fake. One of the top shirts, honestly.
I could have wore that shirt tonight. We should have coordinated.
I actually have that shirt signed in a frame. That's not here. I don't have it with me. It's in there. It was Gable south of the border, Hermano. It was Glad Cable. Oh no, not Glad.
Aren't you
Cable.
Glad you have cable?
Aren't you glad? I don't. We don't do cable. Shout out Netflix, dog. Cut them cords. Even though Netflix almost expensive as cable. Next Monday will be nuts. Next Monday is going to be nuts. We're in Brussels, Germany, folks. I can't even begin to explain to you. Brussels, Belgium, Germany. Where are we next week? Germany, Brussels.
Yeah.
One of the
Brussels, Belgium, or something.
God, Brussels, Belgium. We're dumb Americans here. Sorry for my international viewers. Don't hate us. We're trying our best. We're trying our best here.
We're just more focused on early Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, we're just more trying to figure out how the hell we're gonna watch Monday Night Raw with our busy work schedules. No, we're in Brussels, Belgium. I wasn't even close. We're in Italy next Friday for SmackDown. Shout out to my Italians. It might get a little ignorant. On the Nightcap next Friday. Set your clocks. It's early. I'll be working, dog. We'll be all working. Most of us will be working. What up, team? Main Event Mike's, your advocate is here. Hey, what's going on? Main Event Nate, welcome into the show. Good to see you, brother. We got Bailey and Raquel Rodriguez here, Prez. But before we get to that, shout out to Dom Mysterio. Dom Mysterio picking up the reins of the leader of the Judgment Day, getting Finn Balor an IC title match next week against Braun Breaker. Little hug. Maybe Judgment Day is fine. Maybe it's okay. Maybe everything's under the bridge. Water under the bridge, Prez. Don't worry about it.
Finn Balor's about to get sawed in half by Braun Breaker. Like, it's not even funny. It's not even going to be close.
We're getting there, Logan.
We are getting there, Logan. We're pretty close, actually.
We're one more away. We're more. This is literally it. They stacked us up tonight on Monday Night Raw. I'm a little salty about it. We're not going to get into this tonight because I can go on a tangent. But only one women's match, one women's segment. Not gonna get into this right now because you'll don't get me going.
I knew you would. I knew you would. But
I'm gonna say it. It's utter BS.
I mean, we can just keep clipping every week, just hearing what you have to say about how they treat those storylines. And with this, like, I feel like Dom set Finn Balor up to fail, but I was totally caught off guard by Raquel Rodriguez beating Bailey. Like, could both Judgment Day members be vying for their own divisions Intercontinental titles? And Finn Balor loses, maybe because Dom, fails in helping him. Maybe Carlito fails. And then maybe the week after, Raquel beats Lyra Valkyria. And they're like, hey, Finn, why didn't you bring the gold home? I mean, it could be like, hey, Judgment Day doesn't need you anymore. This isn't the Balor Club.
Listen, if Raquel beats Lyra next week or the week after, even though Lyra's been as a champion, it's not her fault. She's talented. It's the booking. But if Raquel wins the IC title from being irrelevant in all things Judgment Day and all things the Raw division, I don't know what the hell we're doing then. I mean, I have questions. I thought Bailey would have won this match, but Raquel wins it. She's got a title match against Lyra. It's going to be real interesting. Nate says, I'm not going to lie, I can see Dom being a good leader. The build has been good for him, real slow and steady. I agree, Nate. I think he's been, in that position. He's watched, quote unquote, Rhea and Priest lead the Judgment Day. Now Finn's form of leadership. I very well could see Dom taking over the reins here, adding that new member that he wants so badly and replacing Finn. And I mean, could this new member potentially, have something to do with like Black Mass or something? Like, could there be, could he, I'm just saying, could he be, you know what I'm saying? Could he be a little spooky?
Or Dom could get a best man and bring somebody to help redeem the Judgment Day.
Okay, all right. I like it. I like where the head's at. Here. How was Bailey and Raquel live? Crowd was bored by it. I mean, at TV, it was a good. Bailey looks great anytime she wrestles. She could wrestle a broomstick, Bailey. I'm confident in saying Bailey could wrestle a broomstick and put on a 3-star, 4-star match with a broomstick, let alone a blow-up doll or a wrestling, buddy, whatever figure. I think Bailey could have just about a good match with just about anybody. One of those wacky, inflatable, flailing tube men from her old entrance. Bailey can make anybody look good in the ring. She even made Raquel look good tonight.
That's why I wanted Bailey versus Rhea so bad at this year's WrestleMania, but we're not getting it.
Well, I think we're going to get a nice Bailey Roxanne Perez match, Stand and Deliver weekend.
Okay. I'm not mad about that.
It's a possibility. I mean, you have a multi-woman IC title match. Ludwig helps Balor win and joins Judgment Day. Nah, Ludwig ain't joining the Judgment Day, dog. I can't put how could you put European excellence with street trash? You know what I'm saying? That's like parking your Ferrari, in public parking. You're going to get the valet. You're going to get valet on your Ferrari. I can't have my Ferrari sitting next to, my beat up Toyota Camry in a parking lot. That's what you got. Toyota Camry's the Judgment Day. The Ferrari's Ludwig Kaiser, my handsome European elegance, jealous of Tiffany Stratton. I digress. Michael Cole interviews the new Women's World Champion, Io Sky. Bianca Belair comes out. Rhea Ripley comes out. This was a fun segment, Prez. I liked it.
Yeah, I was very concerned when Michael Cole was doing a in-ring interview with Io Sky. Logan, that doesn't mean to be disrespectful. I promise you. But this was perfect because Io was champion. Then Michael Cole called Bianca out, and it was looking like, okay, we got Bianca, Io at WrestleMania, and then Rhea. comes out all pissed off. Like, she was hot. Like, she was mad. And all of a sudden, it's Rhea and Bianca face to face, and Io's trying to, like, come in and everything. And then Rhea shoves her, and then Io comes back and Bianca shoves her, and then Io steps up and she slaps the taste out of both their mouths. I mean, because everybody was like, after Bianca won, it was everybody. Bianca, Rhea, we finally get that dream match at WrestleMania. And Io's like, no, I'm here. I'm the champion. The focus is going to be on me because, no matter how any of this shapes up, Io's like, I'm going to WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Sky said, hey, Rhea, hey, Bianca, what are the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. Shout out Chappelle Show. Shout out Charlie Murphy. Shout out Prince. Listen, I hated watching Io Sky get face palmed by Rhea and Bianca. Like, it actually made my blood boil a little bit because I was like, wow, we're gonna dismiss Io Sky, the champion, right here in front of the entire world on Raw on Netflix, and then Io's not gonna crash the F out on both of these chicks? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And rightfully so. She deserved, dare I say, she should have smacked both of them twice each because they deserved it. I ain't gonna face palm the champ. I know our boy Logan James said it right here in those comments. She's not gonna back down to Rhea and Bianca. She's on their level. Logan, I'll take it one step further. Io Sky might be over their level, all right? Because she's over the moon, man. She's the genius of the sky. And you're not gonna do that to her as the champ. Crowd was the loudest for Rhea, as they are. I would say Rhea Ripley, you want to get crazy here, I can make the argument Rhea Ripley could be your women's Rock in a couple of years. Where, like, everyone knows Rhea. Like, because I got people who don't watch wrestling that hit me up and like, hey, who's this? Who's this? And it's Rhea. And I'm like, oh, that's Rhea Ripley. She's the champ. Well, was the champ. They're like, oh, she's badass. Like, I'm going to have to start watching wrestling. Like, people know about Rhea Ripley. The people know. So I wouldn't be shocked one day Rhea Ripley's in Hollywood doing the damn thing. Horror film icon Rhea Ripley. Could be a thing.
Hey, maybe Buddy Matthews gets to be a stay-at-home dad, at that time. Like,
dude, sign me the hell up, dog. Because listen, I'd be a stay-at-home dad any day of the week. You want to listen? You get it. You get it, girl. Get that money. Get that bag. I'll take care of the kiddos. Don't you worry about the kiddos. Dinner will be ready at 6:00 on the dot when you walk through that door. Don't you worry.
Mike's cooking.
I always cook. I'm always cooking. Hot takes, whether it's hot takes, leftovers, or I'm cooking in the kitchen. We're always cooking here on the Nightcap, ladies and gentlemen.
And that main event tonight was cooking too.
Cut a better promo than half your professional wrestlers out there. What's up? Listen, talk to the people here. Steel cage match. CM Punk, Seth Rollins for all the marbles to point to that illustrious, beautiful LED WrestleMania sign that hangs above the ring. And this week, I have a very awesome photo that was taken by our good friends, Rick 8-Bit and Booking Like a Mark, the Inside Men at MSG. I thought this picture was awesome that they sent to us. It encapsulates everything that we were looking at in this main event. 2 men locked inside of that very cage right there in the middle of the arena with WrestleMania looming in the distance to figure out who's going to WrestleMania. Who is going to finally exercise the demons between CM Punk and Seth Rollins?
First of all, what a view. Like, that was a really good picture right there. And yeah, like this steel cage, and I love how they promote it too, of showing all the Madison Square Garden steel cage matches, like really showed how important this was, because everybody else could be like, oh, why is this on a Monday Night Raw? Well, this first match was on the Raw Netflix debut. The second one was on Raw in Madison Square Garden. And a third iteration might be somewhere at Las Vegas, but this steel cage match was good. It showed the true animosity. And my dad and I were watching AEW Revolution last night. Again, I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it yet.
Great show until the main event.
I won't spoil it for anybody else, but What I will say is Dad was like, man, I miss like real steel cage matches where they didn't have to escape. Like steel cages were built to settle like feuds and settle rivalries. And I think the nice little touch in this cage match was when Seth Rollins opened the door and said, hey, here's your chance. Get out. You can win the match, but just know you're going to tuck your tail between your legs and leave. Seth didn't want to win the match. He wanted to embarrass CM Punk. And then CM Punk returned the favor. He's like, hey, you want me to go out? How about you go out? Here's a nice little knee to your face.
Yeah, he said, hey, come on. Punk Seth said, come on out. Come on, get your ass out of the cage. Let's go. You want to go? Come on. And then what did CM Punk say? He said, you're number one, Seth. And then what did Seth say back to Punk? What he said? He said, you're number one. You're number one, Punk. Don't worry. I got visual elements tonight. Even though Netflix tried to censor that tonight for no reason.
For no reason. They
Cody
tried.
said, go F yourself to the Rock on the cock. No problems. No problems. Tonight, we can't even show the middle finger on Netflix. Now, come on, Netflix. I've seen some real messed up shows on your damn platform.
And that's where we draw the line.
Let the bird fly.
That's where we draw the line. Hey, I just hope they don't get the Stone Cold Vault. I hope they don't get the Stone Cold Vault on Netflix.
Like they do in the 2K games where it's just censored. There's just a blur like this.
Gross,
just a blurry hand.
We need to up our production game. We need to get a blur on the Nightcap. We need to get
get a censor. You need to get a censor. If you don't want mouthing off, you'd like to start mouthing off. You better get a censor.
I've tried. It's a little up there in the budget. That's why people need to subscribe to Boom Broadcast, and we're like 19 away from 500, by the way.
Wow, 19.
And if you're already subscribed, then you can share the link with 2 friends. And if everybody who's doing that right now who's watching, if they all send it to 2 friends and just one of them subscribe, we'll get there. So we appreciate you guys watching.
When the Nightcap concludes and we send you on your merry ways to go enjoy the rest of your evening, go subscribe on Boom Broadcasting. Just why not? It's free. Why not? Just do it. I'm asking you, the viewer, as a personal favor. A personal favor. You can't turn down a personal favor. I'm asking you for a favor. Go ahead, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like Pat McAfee says. Incredible steel cage match. A lot of false finishes. I didn't expect to see about 5 go to sleeps, 5 stomps, 1 super stomp, an STF, an Anaconda Vice. All of these were not enough to put Punk and Rollins down for the count. I like that. I think it's an interesting stray from the usual formula for WWE matches on a Monday Night Raw.
Oh, it definitely didn't hit the actual like formula we're used to seeing, which made it special. And people are going to try comparing last night's steel cage match to this one.
Please
Again,
don't.
it's like comparing apples to oranges. The story they told tonight was great, and it advanced the story.
It did. You know, I think it's the smartest piece of this whole thing, Mike, was the ending. Obviously, the cage door was left open way too long. These referees, we need to have a serious discussion because why is that cage door getting left that long open? No one was near the cage. Let's keep it in kayfabe. But Reigns pulling Rollins out, not giving a flying you-know-what about the match itself, but strictly to get his hands on one Seth frickin' Rollins, was an interesting dynamic to this whole thing because CM Punk never lost. Seth won thanks to Roman. So they're tied up here. And as you can see by the shock on Seth Rollins' face, that was my shock, knowing that Seth and CM Punk are tied up one apiece here.
And I don't know if Seth was so shocked or happy with Roman about helping him win as more like, oh, I messed up. Because
no, that was the oh, I effed up. That's the I effed up face. That's like, oh shit.
It really was. And Roman did phenomenal with this. Seth's facial expressions really great. And this is where it was leading, because if it's tied up one apiece, which is what I thought it would be after tonight, I was like, okay, you get your rubber match in 6 weeks at WrestleMania. But there's somebody who was also in the scuffle at Royal Rumble, And now he's back for revenge because guess what? He's not going to be able to get his championship back from Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And thanks to Seth Rollins, thanks to CM Punk, that means we have heel John Cena.
Yes. And we have what a wild time to be alive here. When it's all said and done, Roman Reigns sees this in the cage, Mike. Paul Heyman consoling, talking to his former advocate, his former client, CM Punk. Roman's not happy, man. Roman looked like a jealous ex-girlfriend. He didn't like Paul talking to his ex here. He crashed out a little bit, hit Punk with a spear, and Paul looked a little scared there in the corner.
Yeah, Roman's not the jealous ex. He is the jealous partner of Paul Heyman. Dude, where'd Paul Heyman come from? Next thing I know, I was like, all of a sudden, and there was no pop from the crowd to like let people know, oh, somebody's checking in on Punk. It was just all of a sudden TV panned over, and I was like, oh, Paul's there.
Hey, Paul.
And I don't know if that's the favor that CM Punk asks, is like, hey, if I can't carry myself out of this cage, can you carry me out? But Roman went off, and Dad was like, because I was like, oh, this might be leading to a triple threat. And Dad's like,
absolutely.
What beef does Roman have with Punk? Well, I'm like, oh, well, one, CM Punk is to blame for Roman not main event in WrestleMania. Two, Roman is the reason that CM Punk didn't win tonight. And three, Roman did not like Paul Heyman's allegiances, even remotely being hinted at being divided, because Roman Reigns, that's his wise man. And it would be very wise for Paul Heyman not to double dip.
Don't double dip, folks. Don't double dip. No double dipping here when it comes to Paul Heyman and his services to the one tribal chief, your tribal chief, the OTC, the only tribal chief. How many different nicknames is this guy going to get? I don't know, but we're going to keep going until we got all the t-shirts on WWE Shop. Love this. Love this. You know damn well CM Punk asked Paul for that favor tonight in that cage. And that favor was, in fact, to make it official at WrestleMania. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Now, do we need Roman Reigns in this in a match with Punk and Rollins? No, I don't think so. But the stories are now woven together. Punk was asked for a favor to be in the Bloodline War Games match. He did it. He said, Paul, you owe me one. I'm going to cash that in one day. Roman was eliminated in the Royal Rumble by one CM Punk. And Seth Rollins. He eliminated both of them. Well, Seth was eliminated by Roman. Roman was eliminated by Punk. Then you got this tonight. Roman costing Punk the match. Seth winning this match, but getting absolutely decimated. Here's a fun fact for you, Mike. Jon Moxley last night and Roman Reigns tonight both did curb stomps. So did CM Punk. Everyone doing the curb stomp. The Shield is alive and well.
The Shield's alive and well. The Hounds of Justice.
The Just Sierra, Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta,
Shield.
I hate it. I hate it here. Logan says his theory is Bianca turns heel at WrestleMania 41 and Naomi helps her shocking alliance. Logan, I'm one to believe you and agree with you, because tonight Bianca, she's a little sassy to Rhea and Io in that segment. So I could see it. I don't mind it whatsoever. I very well could see Bianca turning heel. Overall, main event, my goodness. I'm going to give it
8 out of 10.
I'm going to give it 4.8 slices of New York pizza out of 5.
I wish you didn't give it a big boom.
Tonight's steel cage match gets a big
censor him.
Boom.
Censor him.
Tonight's main event of Monday Night Raw gets 10 big booms. Boom.
Okay. All right. We can chill now. We can chill.
I love you all for viewing the Nightcap here tonight. Mike, tell people what we got going on this week on Boom Broadcasting.
Well, we have a lot of stuff. Earlier today, we had 3 from Deep. That's now 3 times a week. We had Out of Pocket earlier today. And then tomorrow, Shannon, podcast _ Smee, drops a quick hit We might switch it up, do a wrestling drop the mic podcast. We missed last week due to a family emergency. Everybody's well, just FYI, but that is why the wrestling podcast didn't show up last week. So I might be feeling a little generous. Might do it 24 hours early tomorrow afternoon, and we might get some out of pocket action as well. Talking about some of the bigger moves. Need to talk about what happened with Cooper Flag. Need to talk about that Duke UNC game. Need to talk about some of these big, crazy moves that Dallas Cowboys are making, signing guys for $3 to $4 million on 1-year contracts. But it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, Cowboys.
I saw Mike put up 19 subs away from 500. His YouTube channel is 23 away from its next mark. So you guys can help both of us out because it's free.
I appreciate that, Prez. I appreciate you showing love to the MOWM YouTube channel. But let's just focus on Boom Broadcasting. That's what really matters at the end of the day. Listen, you got all sorts of sports content. You got all sorts of fun content coming your way this week on Boom Broadcasting. Go subscribe. Go do it. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Prez, thanks for coming on the show tonight here. Thanks to all of you for joining us here as our viewers. Much like we like to say here, have a good night, everybody. Sweet dreams. The nightcap is over. We'll see you here Friday night for Friday Night SmackDown. I don't know where SmackDown is, but I know it's Friday night, and I know we'll be back here on the nightcap for it. So stay tuned. Subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. That's it. I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching the nightcap.
Bye, guys.